know, he'd been a cuckold for years.
Putting a chair in front of my door when I go to sleep, but that's an extra defense.
Are you still in the adult industry? Or?
She said monkey. I was going to say,
No,
I'll tell you what, if she said monkey, we're going to go find her right now.
Right.
You're going to say, listen.
No, she said ape.
I don't think so. Bed with itchy hiney, wake up with stinky fingers.
I was in the gym non-stop.
You're buff.
I was.
All 140 pounds of you.
Yeah.
No. Give me some meds.
All right, welcome to Sonoman Sideshow. Recorded at Grim Reaper Studios, located somewhere at the base of the beautiful Blue Mountains in Eastern Oregon. I'm your host, Les the Snowman Kinnear, and tonight we have a special guest, full-time guest. Usually he's a special correspondent, but today he's on full-time co-host, Kevin, the Pork Chop Klutz, all the way from Southeast Texas. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Good to be here.
Right on. Okay, so, well, you know,
Shalom.
Shalom, yep, shalom, of course, to our Shalom brothers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We had talked a little bit about doing a podcast. I haven't done anything all summer, so I'm a little rusty. Don't remember how the equipment works, so we'll see if this even works out. But Pork Chop was kind enough to join me for this. And so, Pork Chop, what have you been up to this summer?
Man.
And you haven't been on the show for a while. Like we just couldn't I usually like to have you on a lot, but I just couldn't link up with you. So it's been a while.
Well, you take so many vacations.
I know.
It's hard to keep up with you.
I know it. That's true
but,
too.
Man, it's been hot. I know it's been hot everywhere.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
We've just been laying low this summer.
Trying to stay out of the heat.
Inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's probably starting to turn now, get pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
About where you like it?
Like, our highs are in the 80s, but humidity's in the 90s. So,
yeah. Oh, Jesus.
We got the cold front coming Monday. It's going to be in the 40s.
That's so wild. I remember when you and I first started talking again, and it snowed there one time. And you guys were like, that was so wild.
It's rare.
Yeah, right on. Well, I get you. I've been busy this summer myself, trying, you know, I mean, you've been busy too. Like we all busy, you know, it's summertime. We're trying to get stuff done. And my dad, like I always talk about my dad and my dad and my mom, they take us on vacations quite a bit. And which is nice because we're just poor folk and we can't afford it anyways. But no.
Awesome vacation.
Yes. So yeah, I spent the summer. I mean, we went on one of those Alaskan cruises, which I'd been wanting to do for. Let me back that up. I was afraid to go on a cruise. I'd always heard about the Alaskan cruises. I had been on a cruise 25 years ago and didn't like it, so I wasn't excited about this cruise. Turns out it was great. I had a great time, with the exception of the last day. I took a nap after having a couple beverages at the local bar, and I woke up and I was like, I don't feel right. And I got sick, and our whole group did. Well, 4 of us, we all got really sick, and I mean, eventually all of us had to go and get some sort of meds or something. I mean, well, actually just a couple of us, but it was hard. It was a tough go of it, but and then turn right around once we healed up and head down to Palm Springs area, and that was fun because I wanted to go down to the Salton Sea. You ever hear of that Salton Sea area before?
Don't think so.
Oh man, you got to look this place up. It is wild. So only reason I knew about it was because I'd seen a documentary one time when I was really bored, you know, flipping through documentaries, and there was this whole thing about the Salton Sea, and it's just basically a man-made lake in the desert there in California, just south of Palm Springs. But it was going to be a resort, and they had, you know, in the 50s they had little resorts all over it. It was going to be this new playground, and but the problem was, and there, I don't know all the stuff about it, but they had a lot of the lake doesn't have an outlet, so the water doesn't get filtered and you have all the agricultural stuff running off into it. So what happened is the water just kind of became poisonous and it killed fish, and all those little tiny communities that started to blossom from the resort stuff, they all died and left. And so you go there and it's just a ghost town. There's these, there are still people that reside there, and it's been known as kind of a, rough and tumble area, but you go there and you see these, and you can look on the internet and you can see where people are out there skiing, and it's the 50s and it's luxurious. And then now it's just like, just rough looking, and you just see the concrete left over, and then there are people that live out there. And so I posted a video on my YouTube channel. Check that out. And it's got all the stuff on there. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, you got to check it out. I mean, I feel like if we bought property there, like there's all kinds of subdivision, lots and blocks, subdivided already out there, platted, right? Recorded. So you and I could go buy some waterfront property right now. I mean, it's not that expensive, and we could pull a little trailer on there, but water's poisonous, I think. And so, but no, it was cool. It was fun to go down there. Joshua Tree National Park's right there too, and that was kind of fun to go through that.
Yeah,
and,
it'd probably get real cheap.
yeah. Well, I looked it up once after I watched the documentary. I looked up a real estate company on there, and back then it was pretty cheap. But I mean, there's different places around this lake. This lake is massive. I mean, it's huge. And on the west side, if you zoom in on Google Earth, I mean, there's all that platted subdivisions, but there's a high school there too. So there's enough people there that there's a high school. But if you look at it from satellite, you see the high school and then like nothing around it but empty streets. And then there'll be a house way over here and another one over here. And I mean, it's a bizarre territory, but I don't know. I dig that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. I forgot to mention we also did Squatch Fest early in the summer.
Oh yeah.
And you saw the video there. I also posted that on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't have any contact, but we had a good time, and my buddy Ernest made some really cray good food and just had a blast. And so yeah, maybe next year, I don't know, thinking about trying a different location, because I need to spread my wings. Indian Lake, I heard they were going to drain this lake up here to get rid of some get some invasive species that creeped in there. So we'll see. That's my home lake, but
yeah.
So
I remember Indian Lake well.
That's right. See, a lot of people, I don't know how many times we've talked about it, but you and I, we've been buddies in 2 different states when we were kids by chance. And so, we were Colorado, then Oregon, and, but yeah.
3 states. 3 states now. Texas.
That's true. That is true. So, but anyways, yeah. So I asked you if you would be kind enough to, what I forgot to mention. What do you think of the new digs? I got rid of the table and just have the chairs.
I love it.
I don't know if that's going to be any better. We'll see. I still don't know exactly how I want to do everything, but anyways, I asked you if you would be so kind to bring some news stories. Do I hear Cash? Is Cash right there?
Yeah.
Who tell us about Cash?
He's either hungry or needs to go outside.
Oh, I love it. Well, he wants to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it really is.
So, yeah, what kind of news stories you got for us tonight, my man?
Man, I got some good stuff.
Take it away.
Oh, man. This off-duty pilot. You hear about this guy?
Oh, what the hell? That's nightmarish.
Dude. I heard a little bit about it, and then I found out that the dude was on mushrooms. That's what he said.
Yeah, he ate mushrooms. That's right.
Ah,
and then they let him right up front,
Yeah, he tried to cut off the plane's engines while in flight.
Yes, that's.
But he was off duty.
Right, and now he's off the payroll because they fired him quickly. But
Probably more than that. He said he'd been up 40 hours also.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
And apparently there's like when you pull the fire alarm, it's just the fuel off to the engine.
Right.
And that's what he's going to do. But they got him contained, and it all worked out for the passengers.
Hey, I think they charged him with 83 counts of murder. Murder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Initially.
haven't seen that
Yeah,
part.
and initially he's charged with 83 counts, but I don't know what's happened. I mean, I know he's shitting his pants right now because he's like, dude, I took a couple mushrooms the other day. Next thing you know, I was in the cockpit, and I was like, he said he thought it was a dream. So he's like, and if that is the case, I think we would all do that. Like,
That's
you know what?
awesome.
I'm bored. I'm gonna pull the thing and jump out of this plane like it's that game they all play, you know. But it's not. You're not dreaming. This is real, bro.
Yeah. And you and myself have recently just flown.
Yes.
I mean, can you imagine?
That's what bothered me because they
That
let
kinda-
him sit up there, you know.
Yeah.
That's wild. Nice story. Crazy, scary, but I bet you $100 all those airline companies do not let off-duty pilots ride in the cockpit anymore.
Right.
New memo
You know,
coming out on Monday.
When I flew to St. Louis this summer, while we were off, flew to St. Louis, had an off-duty pilot behind me.
Yeah, that always makes you feel
You
good,
know,
though.
Like the stewardess, and they all knew him.
Did he seem like he was on shrooms?
No,
No.
no. I know a little bit about shrooms, and he definitely wasn't on shrooms.
Oh, that's funny. What else you got?
Man, I got this. I thought it was interesting that 30 cars were found in a lake in Florida.
Okay, I saw something about this. What
30.
was that all about? Is that mafia-owned lake or what?
I don't know, man. It's just like I think it's just a dumping spot.
For
You
criminals?
want to get rid of a vehicle, you need to ditch your vehicle.
But now think about that. I mean, I've never really needed to ditch a vehicle, you know? And so if there's 30 in one lake, I'm moving out of that neighborhood because that means a lot of people decide to break the law, you know, do some serious crime and put their car in my local lake. That's not a good hood.
Right. And it probably wasn't their car that they put in there.
Yeah, the stolen car, I guess.
Right.
That's weird. Florida. What did you read into that? Why they were even looking in the lake?
No, I didn't. I don't see it.
I think it was something like they were trying to solve some old cases and looking for one car and found 30 or something. Some funny thing like that's not funny, you guys. But,
Oh, yeah, it was a missing persons case.
yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. And, you know, you think about it, that's just one lake in Florida.
Just one.
Yeah. That's all over the country.
Well, it makes me
Cars
think
and
of my lakes, Indian Lake and Mackay Creek Reservoir.
Right.
I wonder how many cars are there in those if we drained them.
And there was some stuff on Lake Mead drying up. And
Yes, I remember.
Cars
That was
found
cool.
and-
That was cool, too, when that dried up this summer.
Yeah.
That boat was just sticking there, you know.
Right.
Right on.
But I tell you what, I saved the best for last.
All right.
I don't know if it's the best, but it's the most important.
All right.
Bobby, the world's oldest dog,
Oh, yep.
he passed away.
That's some sad news.
31 years old.
Now, do you believe that? 31? I mean, maybe if it was a Chihuahua or a...
It's hard to believe, but
What if Cash lives to 31?
Cash ain't gonna. The way he's acting now, he ain't gonna make it that long. He'd be lucky to make it to the end of the podcast.
So 31 years old. I did see something about that. Now, we had the longest dog that was ever lived with us was that we had a golden retriever. Got him when he was a puppy. Wendy and I, my wife and I weren't even living together yet. And I had this idea to go get this dog. So he was kind of our first dog, and we had him 17 years. And
oh, wow.
And 17 years, I mean, we're talking he had warts and moles and cataracts, and I mean, I let him, go too long. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I should have probably put him down before that. But but 31, that seems outlandish.
That's like how long we've been out of high school.
Exactly. That's hard to believe, but anyways, and that, I think that one, that wasn't, where was that dog? Where did he live? Portugal or something like that? Or
Yeah.
some other deal. Right on.
No.
Well,
I had to put Cash out. I'm sorry.
Hey, no. Cash has rights too. That's
Hey,
a good segue. I'll go ahead and hop into some quick sports real quick, which includes you as far as the World Series. Dude.
Oh, man.
We got the Arizona Diamondbacks, which is a big deal for me a little bit. I mean, we're rooting for them a little bit because my son lives in AZ and he's been to some games, I think, and has enjoyed that. But then you're in Texas, man. What you got to say about this?
I don't know.
Have you been paying much attention? I don't watch a lot of baseball, but
I'm an Astros fan, and I'm glad the Rangers are in there. I support them, but
yeah,
it's heartbreaking. I'll probably catch a bunch of slack for it.
Do it, say it.
Because all the controversy, but I'm Astros through and through. And
right on.
we can't win them all,
No, that's all right.
That's fair.
Right. Yeah, I don't pay too close attention to it, but I know my son does a little bit, and a lot of my buddies. So I kind of just look, and I've been seeing that what the World Series is going to be. Who's the favorite? Do we know?
I don't even know.
I want to say it's maybe Texas, but I don't know.
Texas hasn't been there in a long time, and they neither has Arizona, but I think Texas might want it a little more. Yeah.
Is that who, God, what was that guy, Roger? No. I can't think of his name. He's Nolan Ryan from Texas. Yeah, he play for the Texas Rangers?
He did.
Yeah.
He owns them.
Oh, he owns them. Oh, wow. Okay.
He played for the Astros, too.
Oh, he did? He didn't want to buy those guys, huh?
I'm not sure if he played for the Rangers. I know he played for the Astros, and I know he owns the Rangers.
Okay. It's a Texas team nonetheless. Right on.
I'm sure he played for them. But.
Well, let's see what else is going on in sports. We got some boxing tonight going on as we speak. I was thinking there was UFC, but there isn't. And that was last week, which was, UFC 294, I think, which was really good. That was Makhachev versus Volkanovski. Did not go the way I wanted. I'm a big Volkanovski fan, but he got knocked out pretty quickly. Head kick, can't do much about that. So that's the way it rolls. He's still a great champ. But boxing tonight, there's a new thing they call it, crossover boxing or crossover combat, or there's a weird name, but it's, when you get these celebrities or a boxer versus MMA. And so tonight is the big Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Francis was, a heavyweight in MMA and was just a badass, but then he fell out with UFC and now here he is fighting. And an interesting backstory on that, he's from I don't know, Cameroon or some middle of nowhere, working as a kid, just 10 years old, working the mines there, and I hear Cash again. Now Cash wants back in. But and he saw Mike Tyson fighting on a cell phone, and then now here, fast forward all these years, Mike Tyson's training him, so he's come a long way. It's a crazy story. But I paused it right before they started fighting because I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen, so I figured I'll just wait and watch it in privacy. And there's no MMA this weekend, so that's kind of a nice break. And then we got big stuff coming up. UFC 295, Prohaska versus Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight title. This is a big deal because I like both of these guys. I particularly like Pereira because, he's just got this whole thing about him coming from, rough beginnings, like a lot of them, and I just like the whole storyline with him. But I like the other guy too. He's a ninja, he's some sort of ninja guy, So
I want to be ninja.
Yes, keep going. Everybody was kung fu fighting. So yeah. Anyways, we got lots of fights and stuff going on. We got football. We're knee deep in football.
Hey,
we're week 8.
Speaking of fights. I discovered somehow on accident that bare knuckle fighting.
Yes.
You seen that?
Oh yes, it's pretty popular.
I like that.
Yeah,
get into that.
It's pretty cool, and there's a lot of crossover from MMA or UFC and some of these other ones. If they don't have a good contract with them, they go to the bare knuckle now, and so bare knuckle's growing, and it don't really get much realer than that, does it? But in my mind, I'm like, that's not a sport that you can be fighting as often as the rest because, you're going to be, I'm sure you break your damn knuckles and hands all the time.
But you know what? Now I think about it. When me and you lived in Colorado.
Yes.
Wheat Ridge. That's when I don't know if it's UFC, but that's when all that started. And it started in Denver.
Yes, Denver was a fight hub. Colorado, yes.
And that was during that time in the mid-'80s, I guess, mid to early 80s.
Yeah, they were the only people that would allow. I think that was the only state that would allow mixed martial arts.
It was kind of bare knuckle.
Yeah, anything goes type of.
Yeah. Yeah, good time.
Now, do you watch much football, or because I will put it on? I used to watch football when my kids were young, and then I got Blake into it, and then when I got older, and I was like, I just don't care anymore. So honestly, like, I'm a Chargers fan, San Diego Charger fan, and I love Dan Fouts, all that, but I only can tell you that the quarterback now is Justin Herbert, I think, and he's from Oregon. That's why I know that, but I don't even pay attention. My kids do, or my son does. But do you watch much football?
Not really. Probably more college. I don't have a team. I was a typical Texan, huge Dallas Cowboy fan, and in the '90s, and and then once Jimmy Johnson left, it kind of went down, and I kind of watched the Texans just because they're Houston, I guess, by default. I watched the Texans.
Right.
I went to a game. I got some tickets to a game. I was 50-yard line, 14th row, and
it's amazing tickets you had.
Man, that was fun. It made me want to watch football. I've never seen it like that.
Right on.
But yeah, I'm just kind of a Texans fan by default.
Right on.
Houston, I'm right here next to Houston. So
yeah, I think I've told you, one of my coworkers lives in your general area outside of Houston somewhere. He used to live in Oregon. He's in Idaho, but he's one of my teammates, but we can do our job remotely. So he got the hell out of the state, and they let him do that. So he lives in RV parks in that Houston area. He's changed a couple times, but anyways, he's a big Texas Rangers fan, and so I know he's pumped.
Okay.
He's always, coming into those morning teams meetings, and he's got Texas stuff on, and telling us about the barbecue and all that. But
yeah,
little shout out to Chuck Freitas in Texas. But yeah, so football, I'm not paying much attention, but it is week 8, so that's halfway through roughly, right?
I don't even know. You got me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're about halfway through. And
that's how much I watch it.
I know, I get it. And
I'll watch some golf though.
Well, hey, that was something I was going to talk to you about. I laugh. Your brother Brian Klutz and your nephew Evan.
Yep.
Evan Klutz is a big golfer. And how old is he?
Yep. He's 17.
Yeah. So today, because your brother told me about, and you did too, about that big rivalry and that 100th time that your teams have played. That last night you guys had the football game, and it's a big deal in the local area. And come on, Friday Night Lights in Texas. That stadium is incredible. That I was watching on the YouTube thing, but you guys do it right down there. But here, so
it's the biggest rivalry in Texas.
Yeah, and
the
then
whole state of Texas.
Brian said that, or in 2025, these two teams, which is Netherlands and who? Port Neches. They've played one for 100. It'll be the 100th time they've played. No,
right.
100 years they've played, but a couple of seasons they played twice, so it was
right.
Okay,
back in the early days.
That's wild. That's wild. Rich in history.
Yeah, it's
football
a lot of
history.
fun, a lot of tradition. It's pretty cool.
Where I was going with that is, today I was on Instagram and I was like, always trying to get my social media numbers up, right? I mean, that's what we do. Like, we want to just be like our kids. No, not at all. But
right.
I was looking through there and I was like, oh, I'm going to check out Evans. I saw it comes up as a suggestion. And so I looked at Evans and I'm like, he's got 2 accounts and that I know of. One's for golf and one's just his regular one. And his regular one, he has more followers than I'll ever dream of having. I mean, that kid, he's into the old social media.
Well, he's like his daddy. He's a good-looking kid.
Yeah, Brian was always a cutie.
And he's like his Uncle Kevin. He's just
stud,
fun-loving person.
Yeah,
stud. So he's got a lot going for him.
Yeah, that's pretty wild though. It was fun to look through that, and I'm having met him a few years ago. It's kind of been fun to watch his success and all that. So I'm sure Brian's a proud daddy.
Oh yeah.
But
big time.
Speaking of that, what's your boy up to?
I talked to Brian right before you called.
Oh yeah, what'd Brian say? What's he doing?
He wanted to tell you hi.
Oh, Brian.
Man, I can't remember why he called.
Just to say he loved you. You're his brother, and he looks up to you. Probably.
Yeah.
Something like that. Well, hey, I got one question for you, and this is more of a vent, and I can't wait to see your reaction. But I'm not getting enough Taylor Swift. Are you? Is it just me? Is it just me, or is it overload? Like, too much Taylor Swift? Come on, that is bizarre.
Yeah.
She's at every football game.
I mean, it's not her fault.
I know, but I'm just tired of her. I just want to say, like,
media.
Beat it. Beat it, June. Yeah. Right on. Also, what are you cooking, brother? What you been cooking? I know you love to cook. We've talked about. I was thinking we'd do a side topic of dreams of side gigs someday, and I know you always want to do like a food truck or a little restaurant or something. But what you been cooking?
Well, Today, I wanted to try something different. And, I'm sure you're familiar with MOURA Mixon.
Oh, yeah.
The king of barbecue.
King.
He does everything fast, and he's not really a slow cooker. And I did some ribs today.
Okay.
I threw them on the pit, and my coals did not do what they were supposed to.
Okay.
But they were burning, but they were burning slow. It was
Right.
low heat, and it was supposed to be high heat.
Right.
So I let them coast for 2 hours, threw them in the oven on 350 for an hour and a half. I think I'm on to something here. It turned out amazing.
I know it, dude.
Great.
I like doing ribs on my smoker, but sometimes you throw them in that oven and just 350 and...
Yeah. I mean, it was either that or just sit there and feed charcoal, and I was like, that's just a waste of charcoal.
Yeah.
I got the flavor I want from the charcoal.
Yeah.
I can put them in the oven now. So.
Right on. How many...
I'm working on the food truck.
Yeah.
I had a definite plan, and then I took me a Chicago-style pizza, and I was like, man.
From scratch.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking lit the light bulb, and I'm researching going with a pizza truck.
Right on.
Cajun. I'm gonna have Cajun pizza. So
Okay.
it's not gonna be just your traditional pizza.
Right.
It's gonna be something different. But we're working on that.
We gotta
got a
find
buddy.
the right name too.
I got a buddy who's kind of helping me, and he's a great cook.
Ooh.
So maybe better than me.
No, well, let's...
We're building recipes, and
Nice.
shout out to Kyle.
Hey,
And
Kyle.
He's got a company, Yellow Feather.
Yellow Feather what? What do they do?
Yellow Feather chocolates. They do
Oh.
Delta 9 chocolate. It's got CBD in it. In Texas, Delta 9 is legal,
Okay.
which is like 0.03% THC. And I don't know if I should have said that on the show, but
Oh.
he makes them.
That's
And
cool.
They're
Right on.
fantastic.
Nice. Nice.
So
Right on.
He's
So
been a big
anyways,
help.
you and him are working on some getting your menus, your recipes done up right?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I look, to be realistic, early 2024, I plan to at least do it part-time.
Yeah.
Because
Cuz
get the ball rolling.
you're a full-time bridge inspector right now.
Right.
Right. I got it.
And I got a heart aneurysm thing, so
Yeah, so that's something you got to keep an eye on.
yeah, I kind of want to get that taken care of first.
Yeah.
So
Right on. Right
I mean,
on. Well,
just a little speed bump.
did I tell you, I'm sure we've talked about that jerk chicken that I've been digging on lately? Listen, dude. So I had
Jerk
it.
chicken looks amazing.
I tried it the first time I was on vacation in Jamaica, and it's this, big old vat. It said jerk chicken. I was like, well, what is that? And I was like, whoa. Always loved it. Never really had it since. And then another coworker of mine who's, an islander, his family's from the islands, and he's loves cooking and everything. I asked him, I said, well, do you have anything like a jerk recipe? And so he sent me this recipe that he uses, and I tried it, which I normally wouldn't do because this was like you buy the ingredients, everything fresh, and
Right.
I made like you make a roux almost, but I did all that stuff, and it blew my mind. It was so good. So then we go on vacation. When Wendy and I were down there in Palm Springs, I said, I want to do jerk chicken one night, but just do legs, right? Just get some bunch of legs. And so, and I know you can just buy the seasoning at the store that comes pre-made. So that's what we did. Prepped them, cooked them. It was gorgeous. And I had one of those metal tins that you get at the store too. And when I shut off the barbecue, had all the chicken in there, which the barbecue was outside the master bedroom of this beautiful home that we were renting. I opened the door, and when I opened the door, I let go of one half of that tin pan. And I dumped that whole frickin' thing of jerk chicken on the floor of this bedroom of this rental. Now, I know you could say, oh, so what? 3-second rule. No, this is a bedroom of a vacation rental. That's all I could think of. I'm like, I am not.
Right.
So I took all that in the kitchen, picked it up, took it out. Luckily, the carpet was dark, so I didn't really, you just let it dry. But get it up in there in the kitchen, and I look at it, and I did pick through it, and it did taste delicious, a few pieces, but I just couldn't. My mind went places that I don't want to go,
Did anybody else try it?
No. Well, luckily, here's the deal. My folks couldn't make it, so they couldn't. They didn't go on the trip, so it was just my wife and I when I made it. So, I was really just showing off to her. But then I yelled for her to come help me pick them up. Yeah.
Okay, I thought your folks were there. Okay,
Oh no, they got. Well, I told you we went on that. Excuse me. We went on that cruise. We all got sick, and they were still sick and couldn't make this vacation from the last. Yeah. So that tells you what a nasty bug that was. But anyways, it was good. I love jerk chicken. That's my thing. Last night I did a pork loin wrapped in bacon, and it was incredible. Because, I screw up more than I make good food. And then tonight, let's see. We're not sure what we're going to do, but I do have some country ribs I want to do this weekend. So, but
nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, Pork Chop, this is the point of the show where I like to do the spit and wisdom. You know that. You got any wisdom to spit for us tonight?
I do.
Yes. Let me hear it.
I'm actually prepared.
Excellent.
I want you to look at my shirt. Come together.
Come together.
I think after whatever 10,000 years of that humans should have done figured out how to live together in peace and love your neighbor, be kind every chance you get, and good things happen.
I like it.
That's my closing statement.
I think that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh man, I almost cried. I was going to say something similar. Mine was more like this is going to sound weird, but we all know this. Like one of the biggest keys to we hear to being happy in life is being able to live in the moment right now, appreciate the moment, which I'm terrible at. I'm always thinking about what I didn't do, what I screwed up, and what I'm hoping I can do in the future. So I never enjoy the right now. And so that's something I'm always working on. And this is going to sound bizarre, but baby steps, right? I try to find little things where I can just say, enjoy the moment. And one of them is, I know, when you're in the shower. Because in my mind, I love a good shower. Warm. I'm sitting there and it's just, and I think to myself, it wasn't that long ago that our ancestors could not do that. Or the ones who did were, of higher standard. Most people didn't get a bathe and shower like we do. We go in there, I run the damn shower for half an hour, 45 minutes if I want. I don't care. Just wasting water left and right. I try not to do that in reality, but I'm just saying, living in the now when I sit there, in the mornings when I take a shower, I give thanks. And I don't even know who I'm giving thanks to. The universe. I just say, you know what? I'm blessed. I may not be rich. I mean, I'm not poor, but I get to run a damn warm shower every day. And it just goes down the drain. Now, I pay a water bill, but I get a luxury that some people don't even get, and 100 years ago, seldom people got. So
Yeah.
be in the now.
Right to give thanks.
Yep. Find the little things, yada yada. Well, Pork Chop, thank you for joining me tonight. We're not going to do a real long show, but we just wanted to, like I said, knock the dust off, reach out, get to know each other again.
Yeah, it's been still stagnant for a while.
Too much stuff going on, but here comes winter. It was 27 degrees this morning, bro. So, all right. Well, let me. I appreciate you being on the show. I'll go ahead and read the outro here, if I can get to it, because I'm trying to use.
It was great being here, man. I'm glad we did this.
You bet. All right. I want to thank tonight's guests and listeners. And sponsors: Bill Murphy Roofing, Wandering Wizard Concepts, Vertical Jigs and Lures, Liberty Detection, DCL Photography, The Shop, DieselFieldFilterKits.com, History Hunters and Firearm Antiquities, Metal by MOURA, Pendleton Outfitters, RidgeTop TV, and the JON P. Salter Foundation. That's a wrap, folks. Be sure to catch the next episode. Until then, keep your nose clean if it takes both sleeves, because we out of here. And say nice things about us. Love you, Pork Chop. Thank you for being on the show with me tonight.
Grubby.
We catch you on the flip, homie.
Right on.
Aye.